Hello there, Pastafarians, me, H. Let me check. That dude yesterday was talking about how he did not like the sound of my microphone. And there's like this gain thing in the back, and it just seems to like, with a very little wiggle, get out of fucking control. I'm here with Jo Lareau. Hello there, Jo.
Hello.
She is hanging out with me while I do this shit all day, where I like to, first of all, pave this whole world here, turn it into a ball of factory, and that's one of the things we're doing. But the other thing we're doing is we're waiting here in this one-on-one chat in fucking politics and religion server, but also we've got our own server here. So, we can, talk to shitheads, or mythidicts. I don't mean to, say that their brains are made of poo-poo. I do when I call people shitheads, but I understand that I should stop that. You don't want to tell people, you don't want to think about people who have poo-poo in their heads instead of brains. You don't want to, actually, think that. They don't. They've got a brain, right? Right? I've not had any, neuroscientists who are all like, we open this guy's head, it's poop, and they're, actual feces. So, it's pretty fucked up. But some of the things they think are poopy. So, we'll just call them what they are, which is myth addicts. And we'll also call them shitheads sometimes, but, we'll have to ask them to, forgive us for that after we do. So we'll let these mythidicts come in here, ask us a question, but of course they don't want to ask questions and have good faith conversations. They're just here to do this Discord debate. So we'll try to get good faith conversations here, hopefully conversations about good faith. Wouldn't that be interesting? And then cure these mythidicts with something that resembles patience, I suppose. Like the beginning of patience, moments of patience we'll be spending on these people. Just because the Discord conversation noosphere is a nightmare, and everyone is doing wrestling instead of trying to discern truth. So let's see if we can expect something different than that. If you have any myth addicts that send them to the chat. We can talk to them about what they believe and why. We can do some straight up epistemology on people if we have to. If we've got to be like, dude, why the fuck would you believe that? Which is what epistemology is. Trust me, I've taken classes in it. I've got my online degree in the epistemology university. So. Or the Street Epistemology University. Though I haven't really read many of those books there. I've sort of skimmed them. But I've skimmed them all, you see. So that's what makes me well-rounded. Also, this is very cherry cola. It's helping me to get well-rounded, so we do appreciate that. Yeah, so we're going to be playing this game here, dicking around in the studio, and forever doing dishes, it's just a chore that never ends. And we'll be waiting for the myth addicts to arrive with their addictions, that we can help them get rid of, think outside of their addictions. We'll see. So we can talk about video games a little. As we've said, there's Factorio and Satisfactory. One of the things that Satisfactory has is that when you have a line like this, going from a place to a place, and you were to get a splitter like this, you can just move it up and down on the line there. You can just like go like this, and then when you like it, you go click. And so this whole thing here, where I gotta like break it open and then clean two sides of it, is sort of the opposite of what I expect from this game. This game's doing lots of things good. Like, it's just so easy to like do a lot of those things there that it really needs to be easier to add these to the line. Also, selecting an output that has two outputs is a little bit awkward, but that really doesn't show up until much later. Pardon me. So, you know, it's not like the game's good, but it's not better than all the others. The others have things that make them great as well that this is missing. I don't know where the the copyrights, what's covered in all these copyrights and who owns what as far as like game design and shit. For example, Magic the Gathering, that card game, it owns the idea of turning a card sideways to show that it's spent. It owns that idea. You can't have a game where you turn your card sideways to show that it's spent. You can like do it for other reasons, and you can show it's spent with other ways, but you can't do it like that because that's apparently what makes Magic, right? Mm-hmm. Tapping your lands for mana. But that's fine, because tapping lands for mana is one of the stupidest fucking game mechanics around. Like, mana is a real problem in that fucking game. Yep. Though Magic Gathering Online is great, you should check it out. It's like free as fuck, and you can just play it all day long, I think. Though you'll be playing with your shitty cards. They give you free cards, lots of free cards, though, and you can buy them cards. You can spend money on it if you want.
Play other shitty card players, or do I get put up against?
Well, yeah, there's places where they are put, and then you're put there quite often, and then you can go back to those places pretty easily, like where the dumbasses are playing. Though you're still gonna get like really fucked sometimes. If you're losing a game, just move on to the next one. You don't have to feel bad about losing. So I always play fast decks, is because I'd rather win 30% of the games than 100% and just do it real fast. 30% of 5-minute games is way better than 100% of 60-minute games. That's insane. So, just move on. Just keep going. Stay in the games that you're going to win, and get the fuck out of the games you're not going to. It's pretty easy, by turn 5. Don't fight for it. Just, like, sometimes you win, sometimes they win, and then keep the games you win. Nobody cares about your percentage. Like, if you care about your percentage, you're just going to fight harder and harder opponents, so don't, fucking take your percentages, and you'll be down there with people who aren't winning a lot, and then, those games are still games, It's you get the reward at the end of the game, no matter who you played, right? Though there are some where you can be like, I'm getting in a tournament, I shall win, I shall try as hard as I might. If you like that, that's cool, go ahead. Play those games, that's fine. Someone should, go in there, people are waiting for you. People who really want to win at all costs. But I just want wins, so it's a whole different thing, I think. We're just sort of putting things on lines here. Maybe I should give a shit about the research, but I don't think so. I do want some faster belts, because my stone line is slow, but I kind of don't care. It's fine. It's working. What else should we do in this game? I don't know. We'll just stick around in this game. But yeah, I was, let's talk about fucking racist-ass Mormons. I don't know if I talked about this yesterday. It seemed like I was just here yesterday. And then, all of, Mormon Twitter just exploded, I think, last night with this fucking dipshit saying some absolute dumb horseshit. So, just to catch you up here, one of the problems with the church of my people, of my people and culture, is that it's super fucking racist, like way totally racist. And one of the things that I want my purveyors of morality, we could call them, right? The gatekeepers of morality, right? These people who are like, we shall tell you if you're being moral. That's what your religious people are there for. We'll let you know if you're being moral or not, because they definitely do when they say, don't do this and don't do that, don't do that. They're saying, we're telling you when you're not being moral.
Right.
So they are the morality elders and the local purveyors of morality and ethics and shit like that. And what I want those people to do in my community is make me more ethical, right? So, for example, if it's unethical to be racist, I want them to make me less racist. And what we're getting in the Mormon community is the exact opposite. That they're just pretending they weren't racist, and that, they don't even know what racism is, and why are you guys even bringing it up anymore? And so yesterday, this one fucking guy, and he's talking to youth, so he's using this sort of condescending cadence, which makes it so much worse.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
trying to put on a show to
yeah.
entertain him.
He
so
must entertain these stupid kids. Oh, hold on. Hello there. Check. Is this coming through?
I hear ya.
Hey, how you doing?
Rattling.
Straddling? Would you like to ask a Pastafarian a question?
Nah, just seeing why you're alone.
I'm just chilling in here, inviting people to ask Pastafarians questions about Pastafarianism.
I'm an atheist.
Oh, well, I hope I can talk you out of that today. I think atheism is one of the very large problems with the world today.
Well, I'm going to stay atheist. Look
Is
at
that
my
right?
goals.
If I can prove to you that you're not an atheist, you're an agnostic, will you stop saying atheist? Will you say something else?
I'm not an agnostic. I'm an atheist.
Is that right?
Lack of belief in a god, deity, or spirit of any sort, type, or form. Atheism.
Do you
That's
know?
all there is to it.
No, that's not all there is to it. Who told you that's
No,
all
not-
there is to it?
I'm not down here to have a debate.
What are you down here for?
Good response.
Right. So here is the debate that you came for and you know you wanted. If I could prove to you that you're not an atheist, that you're actually agnostic about that idea, would you stop saying you're an atheist? Alright, I guess he's gone. Yeah, that's the whole point. They come in here and they get exactly what I broadcasted and then they get all offended about it. Very weird. So that's the game that's going on here on Discord. Please do join me as I continue to do it. What were we talking about? Oh, racist Mormons.
Yes.
So there's this dipshit. Alright. I'm getting a lot of comments about I need to come up with better derogatory terms. So please do help me with things to call these people such that I'm not calling them dipshits. But I think you can. It's not like you're a chair, right? That's dehumanizing people. You're a fucking chair, right? You're an object. You're a thing. You're a thing that people sit on. Not that that matters, but just you're a window pane. That's no, I'm not. I'm a person. And then I could be like, yeah, but you're like a window pane-ish person. So, it's very hard to keep it. There's one of those on the other side of that line. And so, you dummy dumb. See, that's better than dipshit, right? So I guess I'll start calling people dummies. Dummy dumbs. Dumb brains, I guess. So this dummy guy was all up there talking down to all the young adults, as they call them, which means not adults to them, less than adults.
Yeah.
Right.
You also call them young women, young men's, and then to their faces, girls and boys.
That's right, girls and boys. Which, I didn't know when I was a boy that it was a diminutive term, that there are boys and there are men. I think that's what the words meant. But I just thought it was gender assignment, boys and girls, right? I just thought it meant there are people who are girls and there are people who are boys, and I thought that men were boys. I thought that is this person a boy or a girl was a question that you can ask about anyone. You get a grandma and you'd be like, that's a girl, and you'd be like, no, she's a woman. Like, oh, okay. So I have no idea about that connotation of that word for a long time. So much so that I just reject it. I'm never going to use it like that. And people who do are just sort of like not talking my language. I don't need that word to mean that. Young lady, I don't even need that. Though I do use the word child. Child girl would probably be the thing that I would say. She's a girl child, if I'm talking about someone who is a girl and young. I would want to make it clear. She's a child, that girl, you know. And, you know, maybe I'm using the language wrong, but I think I'm communicating shit. I think I'm using those words to communicate different things. Anyway, he's talking down to these boys and girls, and he's talking about racism, and it's...
Am I still under your condemnation?
Yeah, if you're going to be as dumb as you were before. We can talk, though. You can try to, like, catch up with the things that I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So, are you agnostic about God?
No.
What if I could prove to you that you must confess that you cannot tell the difference between a God world and a not God world? Then would you be agnostic about God?
I mean, in principle, yes. I don't know if proof is possible in a solipsistic, world.
Are you a solipsist?
No.
So why bring that up?
It's just there's going to be, in a non-Christian world, there's going to be epistemic barriers. So I don't think you can prove something to someone unless you know they exist.
Is that right? You think so?
I mean, how could you prove something to someone that doesn't exist?
No, that I don't know exists, that I don't believe exists. No. You're confusing ontology with epistemology, right?
No. What I mean is, if you don't know I exist, then you can't say it's ontologically the case that I do. So when you prove it, you don't know you've actually proven it to anyone who's real.
Well, we're talking about proving the idea that you exist to you. Like, because you were saying, I can't prove anything to someone that I don't even believe exists, and it's like, I don't know that at all. You don't know that's true. Like, I just don't believe you exist, but I could give you the arguments that I think would prove it to you if you exist, and there's nothing wrong with that, is there? There's nothing logically wrong with that behavior.
Oh, sure, go ahead. I apologize.
Cool. So, what do you want? Do you want what you have, or do you want truth, if you had to choose?
The best, the best proof that I'm wrong.
Cool. No, I'm saying, if you had to choose between what you had and truth, what would you choose?
Well, that assumes that they are not the same thing, I guess, right?
Right. That's part of the if. That's like, it's an if question. So when I say if, then I'm going to give you some sort of scenarios, and you have to choose between those two. And you have to pretend that both exist in the if. Okay? Are you capable of doing that? It takes a leap of imagination. Do you have an imagination?
I mean, sure. Well, you're asking a couple of questions in one go, but like yes and yes.
Right, you can answer them all, especially because they are one-word answers. You can answer them while I'm asking them. I have no problem with you talking while I talk. Do you understand?
I do. I'd rather wait till you finish.
Right, that's your choice, and you shouldn't do that. You should speak as soon as you have something to say. Your choices are going to make this conversation a lot harder. I wish that you would stop doing that. I wish as soon as you had something to say, you'd talk. Because that way this is a conversation, instead of an act for an audience. I don't need this at all to be an act for an audience. I want to converse with you. Do you understand?
Yeah, sure. I mean, would it be okay if we could just do that one point at a time?
No, for the argument that I made. Did you hear the argument that I made? Why that's not okay? Makes it harder to do? Did you hear me when I explained that to you?
I didn't hear an argument, but I mean...
you didn't hear the argument. Let me make you this argument. Conversation can be made easier or harder by the behavior of the people in the conversation. You accept that premise?
Sure, yeah, I'm not trying to be awkward.
You are, though, because I can show you that you are. If you are waiting for me to finish a sentence before you talk, you are doing that thing that you just said you weren't.
No, this is my nature. I let
it's not your nature. You're following the rules of this channel. You didn't behave like that before you got in this debate cult on Discord. Do you agree?
I don't agree.
You talk to your friends, you just wait until they're done when they're like laughing and telling jokes. You wait until it's your turn. Is that how you have conversations with your loved ones?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I think that if you would embrace the moment and just let your mind drive your tongue without that criticism, I think you'll find communication to be easier. Now, that's just sort of a lesson for your life because you don't seem to know that, so I give that to you for free. But if you do want to pay for truth, it's 50 cents a truth. When you notice how many truths I've given you, you'll know how much you owe me. So let's talk about being agnostic about things. Is there anything you're agnostic about?
Yeah, lots of things. Yeah, I don't know. You know, if you said you have blonde hair, I would be agnostic about it, I guess.
Excellent. And in fact, it's intellectually imperative that you be agnostic about things that you can't know, right? Like pretending that you can know something that you can't. That's a problem. Do you agree?
Sure.
Sure. So, what's your defeater for the Cartesian demon?
Well, I mean, I can't prove to you, but in a Christian worldview, the Lord can reveal some things to us.
No. What is your defeater for the Cartesian demon? You know what I'm talking about, Cartesian demon?
Yeah. Just that a demon lied to me and told me a bunch of stuff that's not true.
Right, so how can you tell the difference between a world where everything that you believe is true, or you've been tricked into believing that by the Cartesian demon? How do you tell the difference?
So are you, like, just to clarify on that, like, are you asking me how I know, or are you asking me to prove to you that I know?
I'm asking you the defeater that you use to convince to yourself that you are not being fooled by the Cartesian demon.
Sure, it's slightly loaded though, because what I'm saying is it's not that I came up with
Your
an
answer's
argument.
going to be loaded.
Yeah, what I mean is it's not so much that I sat and I made an argument and went, wow, I've proven there's no Cartesian demon. It's more that the Lord revealed. Now, I understand your critique will be, no, that could have been a demon. I totally get the critique.
So your answer is you have no defeater for that critique.
I don't have an argument that will convince you or anything like that.
No, convince you. What argument convinced you?
Yeah, it wasn't an argument. It was revelation from the Lord, you know, which, yeah, you're not going to accept.
But you did.
Yeah, obviously.
So you accepted revelation from the Lord as a defeater for the Cartesian demon.
Sure, yeah, I mean, it wasn't specific to that topic, but it was, you know, it was enough to know that scenario is not the case.
And because the Lord revealed it to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know that it's not the Cartesian demon revealing it to you, how?
Yeah, because intrinsic to the revelation is the origin of the revelation.
And you know that that's not being fooled intrinsically to the revelation by the Cartesian demon, how?
Yeah, because the Lord revealed it in such a way where I know it.
See, you say Lord, and all I hear is Cartesian demon. Like, in between those two cases, what is the difference? So everything that's happened to you is exactly the same. But in one universe, it is the Lord, as you understand it, and in the other universe, it's the Cartesian demon. If you are in either of those cases, you can't tell the difference. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree. No.
So what would the you, who is being fooled by the Cartesian demon, feel differently about it than the you that isn't?
I suppose it's just going to be that, like, an absolute revelation is going to come from an absolute source, whereas a Cartesian demon, unless being posited as the absolute source, it's not going to be able to give an absolute revelation of that magnitude.
So you have absolute revelation, and so that's how you know there's no Cartesian demon between you and the absolute creator.
Uh-huh.
And you know you're not being fooled by the Cartesian demon because the revelation says you're not.
Well, because it's absolute. Could it be false?
Wait. Your revelation is absolute?
At least in regards to the Lord not being demons.
So it is partially absolute.
Yeah, it's absolute in the things it's absolute.
Cool. So it's absolute in what it's absolute about, and that's absolutely that you're not being fooled by the Cartesian demon. So that's all you mean by absolute. It's very specific to this idea.
Yeah,
what do you mean by absolute? What on earth could you mean by that? I don't know of any definition where what you just said would require the word absolute. So why don't you make that plain to me, what you're trying to say with that word?
Yeah, just that the Lord can reveal truth.
And can the Cartesian demon reveal truth?
Well, the problem with that is the Cartesian demon isn't going to know anything to be true, is he, without revelation from God?
Right, but he's receiving revelation from God, and he's just lying to you about it. He knows what truth is, and he's withholding it from you.
Well, how? He could be being lied to by a demon.
That's correct. And again and again. Right. So what you're saying is, we know there is a creator, and you're jumping to, I know what he's saying. And I'm trying to figure out how you're getting from a creator to this creator. Okay? And you're not making that connection. Okay?
Yeah, it's because it's not just some vague revelation or vague argument.
It is super vague. It's super incredibly vague. You're being very vague to me when you explain it. You're saying it's absolute in this one in one instance. So you don't think that's vague?
No, I'm saying that the Christian God has revealed who he is. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not
Right,
that.
but his revelations are not true.
Okay, go ahead and prove that.
You can't know that they're true because of the case that there might be a Cartesian demon, and the creator of all reality caused it to be that way. That you can't tell if you're being fooled. Do you agree?
You've changed the claim. You said they are not true. I want some justification for that.
For what? For that? What do you mean by that?
You said the revelations are not true. Can you justify it?
Yes, I can justify that. So, but first we're going to have to talk about what your version of the Bible is and all that shit. So you want to talk about that? What version of the Bible do you read?
You're going to do as I asked.
Yes, so what version of the Bible do you read? Did you answer my question?
Any version. Hebrew. How about Hebrew version?
The Hebrew version of the New Testament. What version of the New Testament do you read, dude?
Just...
Why are you evading this question? Like, if you want to get to truth, why are you evading? Like, I'm not evading it. You ask me a question, I'm trying to fucking answer it, and then you make it hard to answer. Why? I am trying to prove these things to you, but you don't want proof, do you? You just want me to not challenge your worldview, right? That's what you want here, is to find a way to ignore what I'm saying.
I want you to challenge my worldview with everything you have.
Excellent. So, what is wrong with my argument that you can't tell the difference between you being fooled by the Cartesian demon? The case of you in this world, where apparently Jesus is the one true creator, and in the case in the other world, where there's a Cartesian demon between you and that Jesus, withholding information from you, but pretending these things.
I already answered this, and then you made a claim that the revelation... Listen...
No, you said because you've had absolute revelation, and then I chased that down, and that landed nowhere. What did you mean when you said absolute revelation?
I already clarified that as well.
I don't think so. Well, let's go back to it, because I guess I ignored you. When you say absolute revelation, you're just saying it can't be untrue? That's what you meant?
Yes.
And you know that because the revelation?
Yeah, intrinsic to the revelation.
Excellent. And the Muslims that use this same argument are wrong. Why?
I don't know any Muslims that use that argument.
Is that right? That they have been revealed the truth and the truth can't be wrong? You've never heard that from a Muslim?
Give me one video where they make that claim.
All right, well, let's bring a Muslim in here. Let's hop in the fucking 3 group. I'll pull somebody in, and he'll say the same thing, and what will you say to him? You'll say, wow, I've never heard that argument from a Muslim before. I guess I'm a Muslim now. Is that what you're going to say when he says it? Look, I see... The creator of all reality is... No, he's on this channel. So, pull in the Muslims, you know what I mean?
No.
So the question is, while I'm searching my history of people that I've talked to here to find one to come in, what are you going to say to him when he says the same bullshit that you just said to me? What is your answer going to be? Is it going to be, oh, I've never heard this from a Muslim, I'm convinced?
Every Muslim I've ever met, right, literally, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds online,
yeah.
They're all solipsists, nihilists, they don't know anything to any degree.
No, you judge them to be solipsists and nihilists because that's how you get to ignore people, because that's the thing you're going to say about me at the end, is like, I get to ignore him because he was a solipsist and nihilist. Dude, I'm not. You're just gonna pretend that so you don't have to listen to my arguments. When he comes in and he gives you that argument, what are you going to say to him is the question. I'm not saying out of the hundreds that you've talked to.
Like you said that we were going to have a conversation. So far, you've asked me 50 questions. Have I got to ask you anything?
You can ask me whatever you want. That was a question right there. I've answered it. When you ask questions, I answer them. What question have you asked that I've not answered?
No, well,
none. Can you not think of any? Because I can go down a list of questions that I asked that you haven't answered. So are we doing one for one? Should I write it down? Is it my turn? Is it your turn? Do you want to pull a moderator in here so your rules can be thing? Or are you just gonna fucking talk when you have an idea? Use your mouth. Use your brain. Let's have a conversation instead of a fucking stage play, bro.
Well, let's do it right now then.
I am, and I keep waiting for you.
I'm speaking. All right.
Yes, so am I. I'm going to speak when you're speaking, and if you have a problem with that, then you don't like conversations.
You're fucking serving me, you fucking dick, man. There you go. Right, look. Now, when you say you're not a solipsist, say that you're not a solipsist. Are you saying that you you are not the only mind. Is that what you're saying?
Stop following me, you're stalking me, I'm going to talk to the mods about you. Don't follow me.
I am a mod, you fucking twat.
And you're breaking your mod abilities. You need to leave. I'm going to leave this channel, and I'm going to go in a different one, and don't follow me.
You're a coward, then.
I'm a coward? I didn't mute you, bro. I'm the coward? Let's talk about who's a coward. Go ahead and define coward. Let's use your definition of coward. What is a coward?
It's someone that is not willing to stand up for the convictions that they hold.
Is that right? That's what a coward is? Hold on. Let me look this up. Let me check it and see if everyone agrees with you about what that's a coward is, or that's an example of a coward. That's what you're doing right now? What is a coward? What's the definition of a coward? Give it to me. We'll use yours.
Just gave it to you.
No, you gave me an example, didn't you?
No, that's my definition.
Cool. Your definition is a coward is a person who is unwilling to stand up for the things they believe.
Yeah, you're not willing to. You're willing to run off, and you're willing to talk over me.
You're willing to mute me. Is that not a cowardly move? You're using your powers in a one-on-one conversation with me without any moderators to moderate this conversation. You don't think that's some fucking cowardly bullshit? You think that's some brave grown-up thing to do?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah? No, I don't either. So who's the coward? Who's the coward, you and me?
You're the coward.
So, and not you, correct? I'm the coward and you're not. That's what you got here?
Yes.
Cool. Well, you're wrong, and you know you're wrong. You can feel it in your heart right now, you piece of shit, and I can cure you of the way that you are. This thing that you're trying to do, defend your hateful faith at any cost, you don't have to be like that. You can seek truth instead of validation. But you're afraid of what this world is really. You don't want it to be what it is. So who's afraid here?
Yeah, you are.
No. Are you going to live forever?
So, like, when you say...
Are you going to live forever? That's my question. I asked who's a coward here. You answered. The next part of this conversation is, you going to live forever?
Pardon?
Are you going to live forever? This is the 4th time I've asked you.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know? Are you sure?
No.
I think you know.
Sure.
I think you know.
I don't know.
You do know and you're afraid of it.
I don't know that I'm going to live forever.
You know that you're not and you're afraid to confess it.
I wouldn't know either way.
You do know. You do know and you're afraid it's true and you want something else.
So when you say I know it, how would you know what I know? How would you know what you know?
How would I know what I know? Because of divine revelation. How would I know what you know? Because the creator of all reality told me you felt it just now when I said it.
What, you're lying to me now?
No, I'm not. I'm telling you the truth. I felt it in my heart. That the creator, he gave it to me with revelation. Do you believe in revelation, do you?
You're a theist, then, yeah?
Do you believe in revelation?
Are you stupid? I've already told you about 10 times.
So I believe in revelation. It's happening to me right now. When I told you that you knew your final destination, and you can't say that you don't know about it, the creator of all reality told me that it reinforced it in your heart. And you just don't want it to be true, because you're afraid you're gonna die.
So please may I just ask you a polite question then?
No, this whole conversation is not polite. What is the use of politeness? You cannot ask me a polite question. You can ask me another question, but not a polite one.
Okay, when you say you're a solipsist, what
I didn't say I'm a solipsist. You said I'm a solipsist. And I said you'd say I'm a solipsist. I never said I was a solipsist.
I mean, when you say you're not, what do you mean?
I mean, that accusation is untrue.
No, what? No, I mean, metaphysically, what claim are you making about reality? That you're not the only thing that exists? Is that the claim?
I am making a claim that I don't believe I'm the only thing that exists.
What, and everything that people believe is true?
No, I'm saying as a belief, just like the word theist says, I believe this is true, I'm not a solipsist, meaning I don't believe that my mind is the one and only thing.
Right, yeah, that's metaphysical solipsism. We're just talking about colloquial solipsism or epistemic solipsism here.
No, we are not. You're talking about something that you haven't defined. I talked about that other thing that you said. We are not talking about the thing that you wanted to. If you wanted to make it clear, make it clear. When I say I'm not a solipsist, that's what I mean. If you want the conversation to mean something else, you're reading the terms in there.
Okay. Could you be the only thing that ever existed and ever will exist?
No, I cannot be the only thing that ever existed and ever could exist.
So you're saying necessarily it's impossible?
It is impossible.
What's the contradiction?
The contradiction is I am not just me. There is a language in my mind, and that language is not me. I exist, and the language I use to communicate to myself exists.
You're begging the question.
No, I'm not. I'm saying there's evidence for these two things. There's me, and then there's my language.
Yeah, that can all be in your mind.
No. That's possible, but that's not the evidence. But that could be in my mind, but that's not my mind. That's what's in my mind. Those are two different things. No, it is self-evident that there is my mind and other things.
Self-evident. So, okay.
Yes.
You're saying it's impossible to actually believe that while being the only mind?
There would be nothing to believe, because that belief would be something other than the mind. There is the mind, and there is the belief of the mind. And those are two separate things.
What's the argument for that?
That what a mind is. What is a mind?
Yeah, a mind is basically like a consciousness or a state of consciousness.
Is a mind a belief?
A mind is not a belief, no.
There. Then I have identified a mind and a belief for that mind to believe, and so, thus I have identified two things: the mind and the other than the mind. Did you not follow that?
A mind can have beliefs. That doesn't mean that there's other minds, though.
I'm not saying there's other minds. I'm saying that my mind is not the only thing.
You're a solipsist.
No, I am not. You're trying to take solipsism all the way down. Solipsism is a positive belief that your mind is the only thing that exists. Do you agree?
No, that's metaphysical solipsism. We're just talking about...
No, you are talking about a different version of solipsism, and you're not willing to differentiate between metaphysical solipsism and this other version of solipsism.
Okay, so when I say could you be the only mind, when I say could, I'm saying is it possible?
That I am the only mind?
Is it possible?
I guess, depending on how you define mind, and I really don't know how you're going to define that.
I just defined it. Are you stupid or something?
Yes, I'm very stupid. Are you stupid?
No.
Oh, okay. See, so that's the problem, right? Is that you don't know how stupid you're being, right? And you can't confess. Look, you ask me questions, and I answer the questions, and then you move the goalposts all the way over here. So why don't you mean what you mean when you say the word instead of the fucking other words, eh? Why don't you bring the argument to the fucking thing you're trying to score? How are you accusing me of being a solipsist when I don't believe that my mind is the only thing that exists?
Yeah, I'm not saying that you believe that. I'm saying from your perspective, you don't know either way.
I am agnostic about a lot of things, as you must confess, and you don't. Like I'm saying, you must have confessed you're agnostic about the idea that you're not being fooled by the Cartesian demon. So that's me saying that if you don't have an argument, you are a slave of the Cartesian demon. And then you're like, no, I'm not. But yeah, all the argument is, you're a slave of the Cartesian demon. You have no way of defeating him.
So if you're defending this Cartesian demon, against me, then you must hold that you don't know that you're not being deceived by demons.
That is correct! That is an intellectually honest way to approach that argument, and you not holding that is the evidence that you're stupid. Do you understand?
I don't see how that follows. What's the argument?
I know you don't see how that follows. Did you know why? Because you're stupid.
Well, that's begging the question.
No. I'm telling you the reason. I'm not making an argument here. I'm telling you the reason you can't figure this out. You're stupid.
Do you have an argument? Do you have an argument?
I do have an argument, but you're too stupid to have seen it.
Well, let's hear the argument.
You heard it.
You said you're not making an argument.
When did I say that? How many moments ago did I say that?
Just rewind the fucking video and have a look, my friend.
Let's do it, shall we?
Go ahead. It's probably about 30 seconds.
Cool. And so then, did the conversation move on? And did I make an argument after that? The argument that you're stupid?
No. You've not made an argument, no.
That you're stupid?
You haven't made an argument, my friend.
that you and I think it did. I think it did. So and I think premise one is you're stupid.
Okay, what's the conclusion?
The conclusion is that's why you can't figure out you're stupid.
I mean, honestly, like, you can't be serious, my friend.
I can't be serious, and that was your argument for me being stupid, isn't that correct? Can a stupid person figure out that they're stupid?
Yeah, like, goodbye.
Can they? Yeah, don't come in my room again, alright? And he's a moderator of this thing, and so, you know, I am very aggressive, but, I want to be more aggressive with these moderators because of the way they play this game. It's a very sort of, they often do a thing where, they are abusing their power, like, and so I don't want to talk to anybody with the power of moderation, because fuck that shit. If you want that power, you're a piece of shit. If you use that power, you're worse. And not like piece of shit, stupid person. So I think I did make an argument for he's stupid, and then I made another argument for you're never gonna fucking figure out you're stupid. And I did that in response, of course, to him calling me stupid, right? Like, I mean, you just do it twice back to them and they have to leave the room, right? Like, they're willing to play the game, they do the move, and then when the move is done twice back to them, they leave. And so, you know, it is nice to get people to leave. Wesley Brown is here. Hey, Mitch, I'm a big fan of what you do. Oh, thank you very much, thank you very much. What I'm trying to do right now is get good faith conversations with people. So what was happening there was he was doing the thing that I was asking him not to do, but I called it. Like, he's saying all of these people are this and this, and that's not what they are. None of them would call them that. He's like saying everyone's satanic because they don't believe in Jesus, and no, none of these people are walking around saying they're satanic. So when he's calling me a solipsist, no, he's saying you don't have a defeater for this argument that you might be the only mind in the world. And it's like, right, I'm agnostic about that. And then he's like, there you are, you're a solipsist. And it's like, no, absolutely not. That's this whole different thing. I'm saying that you cannot. You are trying to defeat these arguments, and so you just use this magical trump card that is a child's card. You must confess first that you can't tell the difference between these, and work your way from there. You must acknowledge what you can't know, and then build what you know around that. And then he's like, well, that's hard, so what I'm going to do is say that I know that this voice in my head that I'm hearing is the one and only true creator, because there's no way that I could believe that if it wasn't. That's literally what he's saying. Like, that is his argument, though he doesn't recognize that as his argument. That he's saying that because I believe that it is, it is. That's the sort of evidence that he's accepting for it. He thinks there's like some poetry that supports it, but there is not. I don't want to get involved in his arguments because they're pretty bad, and he's not doing any way better than what he's doing with the Cartesian demon. The reason that I brought that shit up is because it just really expressed exactly what the hell's going on. And so he is uncomfortable with confessing that there might be a possibility that you don't know the answer to the question, that you can't know. There's a possibility. And again, I do want to point out that, coward is a big accusation to say for people who are afraid of dying. The whole motivation is that they are afraid that there will be a moment where they don't exist, and that makes them uncomfortable, and so there's got to be an escape from that. The whole thing is about God's created a huge way for you to escape. The one and actual true eventuality is that that you're a finite being, and the universe was before you and shall be again after you, and your time here is fleeting, and that scares the shit out of them. You can tell, because they want it to not be that way. And so I think not only is it cowardly, it's very childish to pretend that your book is the magical escape route from that. If we were to work with what we know and what we can know, we can go a lot of ways. That's the whole point. You don't have to start at the only thing. You don't have to stop at the only thing I know is myself. There's other things you can build from there. I think I identified that there is more than the one. And so we can build from there, and we can move on. Especially because the question of how do you know that you're not an android? It doesn't change any of your answers to these questions. If you're an android, if you're not an android, you plug. It doesn't matter. All these other functions run the same, even if you're an android. If there's a simulation, if you're the only one. It is. He doesn't know that he's not God. He has no proof of that other than he's told himself that he's not. And why the fuck would you trust yourself if you're God? God can lie. God's got his own reasons, right? If you are the only mind and you're pretending that there's all these others, if solipsism is true, then the one and only mind is a liar, right? So that's the point. Is he's yeah, no.
We've had a previous conversation with him.
Oh yeah. He lurks around this thing a lot. He's a mod. He spends a lot of time here, and this is the basketball that he plays. But playing this for sport is a child's way of doing it. It's got to be to discover truth. And so these methods that these people are using are the sports method, the show's method. These are not ways to discover truth. And I made a lot of arguments about how he's restraining himself, and he says, this is how I talk with my friends, and he sounds like a blast to hang out with. In a garage, getting fucking stoned. I bet you don't have to worry about if the conversation's going right. No, I mean, poor guy. Poor guy. He can not be that, but, he's afraid that if he stops being that someday he'll die, and there will be an end of him, which he fears.
Or his loved ones. An end of his loved ones.
Well, that's the point, you're going to distance yourself from every other thing that you love. This idea is separating idea. You have to pick it. That a narcissistic God has made everything for you, so that you're gonna have to choose between that and every other thing you love eventually. If you live long enough. And so the book specifically says, don't fucking love your mother. Fucking leave your fucking mother for me. We were talking about Mormons earlier. We were talking about this guy who comes on and is all and I don't want to misrepresent what he said, and he has apologized for it, though. So I guess, dude, I don't know what to do with apologies, but let's talk about some other stuff he says about women, because there's this idea that
he didn't apologize for that.
Because he didn't apologize for that. There's this idea of he's talking to someone at a something, and he's representing the church, and someone walks up to him and says, "Oh, you're a general authority? Well, why don't you give the priesthood to women?" And his reply to that is, "What's the priesthood?" And the person said, "I don't know, but why don't you give it to women?" And then he was shocked. He's like, "You don't know what it is? What was his example?" I'm going to use gonorrhea. What's gonorrhea? Why don't you give it to all women? Like, what are you even talking about, lady? And he thought it was a good argument. It's really cute. And so, that's really bad. It wasn't gonorrhea. It was, influenza? I don't even know. And so...
I don't even remember. Was it a negative?
It was a disease.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, he was like, he used the word of a disease, and he's like, what is the disease? You don't even know what it is? What if it's a disease and I give it to people? And it's like, first of all, it absolutely is. I do feel like...
negative in his mind when he knows the priesthood is a positive thing.
That's right. That's right. He's like, you don't even know what it is. It could be something negative. It was the weirdest fucking argument for his fucking mind to go to. But he knows what it is. It is defined as the right and authority to act in the name of God on this world.
It's his status. It's the caste system.
That's correct. It's also where you are in the hierarchy, which he goes over a little bit later. He's like, look, don't confuse the priesthood with the priesthood keys, you see, and don't confuse influence. And it's like, no, we're talking about leadership positions. We're saying, why can't women have leadership positions in your boys' club? And he's like, look, most men can't, so what are you complaining about? He gives a couple really, really bad arguments.
And you can get those blessings and needs anytime you want. You're surrounded by men. Right.
And there's this, and then he's like, look, here's the thing that happens in the temple, and then he talks a little bit about it, though, he can't, so he's very, holds it back quite a bit. And, so... All right, hold on. Let me get I'm trying to read some other things over here, and I don't want to do that. I just want to fucking rant about this guy. So this guy is talking, and I can't remember his name, but yeah, something like that. So he's talking about ladies at the temple, and he's like, ladies can just go in the temple. Guys have to get the priesthood before they do. So maybe we're asking the wrong question. Maybe the question we should be asking is, what are ladies bringing with them from the premortal existence that allows them to do that? And... no, that's the wrong question to be asking. That question has been answered. And it's much different to the thing that he's trying to say. He's like, hey man, here's a question. And no, it's not a question. There's an answer to that. No, women are inferior to men coming into this life. No, there's not an extra gift to women. It has something to do more with what Harold B. Lee said about people with things like Down syndrome. That in the premortal existence, like, they were this special class of warrior, and thus they get to come here and just get a free ride through it. Because they're sort of like this weaker yet valiant warrior, right? And it really is kind of gross what he says, and it is anointed of God, speculating about why people have Down syndrome and why they don't need to go through the temple and things like this. And so, no, it's very much akin to that. The answer has been given, and it's, you sisters are lesser, and we shall help you through this, we men with the priesthood. And so he's asking this question like it's a question. It's not. It's not at all a question. And secondly, he avoids the question, why won't you give women the priesthood? And he's saying, because God hasn't told me yet. Now, what I'm asking is, how would he know if God was telling him to give women the priesthood? How would we know? How would he know if God was saying that? I'd really like to talk to him, to ask him what it would sound like. Because when they were giving the priesthood to the blacks, finally, there was this guy, before the guy that did it, called David O. McKay, that said the prayer. Okay? He knew, he could tell that maybe God might want to give the priesthood to black people. And my apologies, I say the blacks a lot, because that's how we talked about it in the Mormon church. Is exactly the verbiage we use. Ever since 1978, we've been stuck in this one fucking way of talking, and it really is embarrassing. And he did it the other day. Like, he just does it. Like, we just say it like it's not, like, super aggressive. So, I don't know, people of color, people of African descent is what it actually is. Because, that was Brigham Young's decider. If you had one drop of the Negro blood, he said, to quote Brigham Young, those were the words he used. So he was pretty clear, and he also said that it will never ever go away. This thing. And so, a couple prophets later, one of them was all like, maybe it's time for it to go away. And so, what I'm saying is, that thing where he thought maybe it was, that was the Creator telling him it definitely was. And he has no way of disproving that. He was receiving some sort of promptings from somewhere, and they weren't the devil because it happened a couple years later. Why would the devil just want it to be early, right? Like, he waited that when the question was asked the first time, if he was a prophet, he would have known the answer was already, yes, you fucking racists, I don't need your racism in my church anymore, and that right now, that's what the prophet can be hearing. It's going to be a prophet in the future that says, you know what? I don't know what the fuck we're doing with this priesthood. Why would we withhold it from the sisters? And then there will be a first women prophet. And, they say it will never happen. I'll say it happens before the sun boils. We'll see who's closer, right? Again, that there will be gay marriages in the Mormon temples because these prophets are wrong and they're behind the times. I was talking to that Mormon in the street, and the point that I made, we were going around and around, and we finally landed on, yes, but God wants people to do it at their own speed. Well, then that totally dissolves what the church is, because the church is supposed to be doing it faster than their own speed. It is God doing good in the world. And when the church is definitely 14 years behind the world, then it has proved that this thing does not get you closer to truth, but keeps you 14 years behind the majority. And I want to be ahead. My prophets owe me that I'm ahead. So when, and I don't have to worry about it because I was born in 78, it had nothing to do with me. But my parents handled it, and then they're just doing it again with the gay shit. They just don't give a fuck. They lived right through one of them, growing up and becoming adults and stopping being racist. They lived right through that. Not going to do it with women, not going to do it with the gays. We did one, let another generation do the others. And by the way, wait till we're dead. One change in 80 years. How could anything survive more than that? Yeah.
That's how you can keep those brains locked in.
Yeah. Sometimes we change the temple, but it's never changed from the beginning. Sometimes we have to modernize it. So don't, make fun of us for this. Alright. What time we got? 1:31. Alright, I'm gonna dig around for a minute. Hello there.
Yeah.
Do you have a question for a Pastafarian?
Yeah, why?
Because it's true.
I mean, like...
Did I answer your question?
Nah.
Is there a good reason to do it if it's true?
It's funny in like 12 years, bro. It's kind of dumb.
Did I say because it's funny? So you asked me why, and then you didn't listen to my answer. Is that correct? Did you come here not to... So my name is Ask a Pastafarian. Do you agree? Well, you had a dumb question. My name is Ask a Pastafarian. Do you agree? Is that my name? Did you read it?
To the wrong.
Did you read it? Oh, okay. Well, you can leave if you misunderstood who I was. If you didn't quite understand what I was inviting people to do, you can fuck off.
No, I'm chilling, bro.
Cool. So can we go back to your dumb question then? Your question was why, right? And you're saying this is not a dumb question. Is that correct? Have I understood the shit you said so far in here?
Nah, it's just not funny.
I did. Did I say funny? Who said any shit about funny?
I mean, it's just not funny, though. You know what I mean?
Cool. So why do you think I care if it's funny? Can you explain that to me?
I don't know.
Your statements are dumb because they have nothing to do with this conversation.
Then now I just kind of feel bad.
Cool, I feel bad for you because you're so dumb. So, like, you know, feel bad all you want.
Oh, you're talking about, pal.
I'm talking about how dumb you are. Have I not been clear about that?
Dumb?
You are dumb, yes.
Says who?
Says me.
Says who?
Me, I say you're dumb.
Then who are you?
I'm Mitch, who the fuck are you?
I don't know. I'm a guy.
Maybe. So, can we talk about your dumb question again? Did you have this whole scripted out? You're going to be like, it's not funny? Why didn't you lead with that if that's the thing you wanted me to hear? Why didn't you lead with that? Why didn't you walk in and say, Pastafarian is not funny? You're not chilling, you're in my room, do you agree? The room that I'm in, you're in that room? You didn't chill your way here?
It's not your room, bro. Like, I'm chilling on the bridge right now. Some guy's, like, trying to kill himself or something, so they shut down the bridge, so I'm just, like, stuck here.
So the room I'm in, by my room, I mean the room I'm in. Like, you were not in this room, and then you were in this room, and then you weren't chilling while you did that, right? You, like, walked in.
Yeah, I was chilling, bro.
You were chilling as you entered my room?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you chill as you fuck off?
Nah, I'm chilling, bro.
Cool. So can we talk about how dumb you are? Or is that gonna hurt your feelings? You're gonna be all crybaby if I keep calling you dumb?
Nah, I mean, we can talk about, like, how, like, retarded your name is, and, like, how, like, you're, like, just gonna resurrect that meme.
Cool, like a dead meme, like Jesus?
Like a dead Reddit meme.
Like Catholicism? Gonna resurrect that shit? Like,
what is it? The non-wild beckons at midnight? Yeah, I see you, kind of stranger type shit. Like, I see you.
You don't.
I mean, like,
you don't see me. You're trying not to see me.
New Zealand or whatever, like, damn.
Have you been to New Zealand? Have you been to New Zealand?
Yeah, I went when I was like 7.
Where? What part?
Christchurch.
Christchurch, nice. Did you see the Wizard at Christchurch?
The Wizard? No. I found out, like, after. Like, I found that out, like, pretty recently. But, like, I was like 7, so if I saw, like, a wizard, I'm pretty sure my parents think, like, I almost got kidnapped. So I was like, yeah, I met a wizard. With this old man with a big beard and a hat.
So you met the Wizard in Christchurch? You almost got kidnapped by him?
Nah.
So you wish that you had got kidnapped by the Wizard when you were 7 in Christchurch?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be cool. I would like to have been stolen by the Wizard and raised in the ways.
But nah.
Do you want to be dumb?
This accent.
This is a fake accent, and it's not. I'm trying more for like London, but like I do get it. New Zealand creeps in.
Yeah. No, I know you don't got the Kiwi accent or whatever, but you know the whole like deek.
Yeah, more like yeast and no.
Everything, bro.
Yeast, bro. Cuzzy, bro. Something like that.
Yeah, it's just gross.
What's gross?
Kiwis.
Oh, okay, cool. I think your dumb questions are gross. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, I can talk about anything.
Is that right, or are you going to try to avoid the things that I want to talk about? Can we talk about anything, or are you going to be afraid to talk about the stuff that I'm trying to...
You're just kind of like throwing... you just like worked yourself into a tizzy over nothing.
Yeah, a tizzy, eh?
Yeah.
A tizzy like walking in this room because of the name of the person in it? A tizzy like that?
I didn't even read your name.
Cool. I believe you.
That's cool.
You had the line ready, though, to tell me how Pastafarianism is dumb, so that's cool. I'm glad God gave you a relevant line, even though you didn't know what you were getting yourself into.
God, are you bringing God into this now?
I did when I called myself a Pastafarian, didn't I?
No, not really.
Yes, really.
No, it's not. No, there's like no.
No, you're just trying to pretend I didn't.
It's like a bad joke. You know what I mean?
I literally don't know what you mean. I'm trying to explain to you that you don't know what you mean either. You're using some anti-Pastafari lies.
But like you won't close your mouth.
I don't have to close my mouth. I can talk and hear you at the same time.
I know you like to keep it open.
I like to talk to people. Yes. Do you like to talk to people?
You do a lot of talking to the meat pipes. That's for sure.
Do you like to talk to people?
Oh shit, an eagle.
Is that a thing that you like to do? Is to talk with your mouth?
Nah, I prefer braille. I'm watching an eagle like fucking.
I don't care. You don't have to. You don't have to give me a play-by-play of your life, bro. I'm filling my pipe right now.
It's some David Attenborough's going for the dive. Ooh, didn't get it.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're doing this. You're really blessing my life with the access to your brain and personality. My day is so much more wonderful now that you have joined it.
Hovering, not doing much.
Do you think that bad faith conversation is good for anything? Do you think that there is a use for having a bad faith conversation?
Wrapping around.
What do you think the use of having a conversation in bad faith is? What do you think it can accomplish? Out of the many things that it can accomplish, let's just list the things that bad faith conversation can do.
I think if you think you're going to accomplish anything on Discord, you're foolish.
I just accomplished something. You answered a question, didn't you? I just accomplished something. So I think you pretending that any work that you do is going to come to no effect is very childish and foolish. So, and I think I have an argument for that. Did you notice it, or even though you're trying to ignore it?
Oh fuck! It's like right there.
What is the worth of ignorance, and what can ignorance get you? What is the value of ignorance to you? When ought a human choose ignorance?
So what are you saying?
You heard me.
Sorry, I was watching the eagle.
I agree with you. I heard the play-by-play.
Yeah, it's gone now.
I don't care.
It flew to like the southern direction, so I guess it's like a New Jersey eagle.
As did your father, right? When did he fly away? When you were like what? How old were you when your father left?
I saw him yesterday.
Is that right? When did he leave your mother?
He's doing alright.
Yeah, when did your father leave your mother? Did you stay with your mother? Would you have picked her? Who picked? Who to go with? You or them?
I don't know.
You don't? They didn't tell you?
Nah.
You should ask them who was in control of your life at the time. Would you have chosen something different? When did your parents get divorced? Just tell me. I'd like to talk about this.
1957.
And that was 20 years before you were born. How old are you right now? 33?
No, I'm 19.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
What, I'm not your type?
No, that's not at all what I meant.
You like them old and rough and wrinkly? Yeah.
There's a lot that I like. Yeah, see, I like humans, and you're disgusted by some of them, so, but, you don't have to fuck them all.
Oh, wow. So you're saying as long as it's the human, you fuck it. I don't know. That's a pretty weird standard, I'd say.
I'm saying there's lots of humans that you wouldn't fuck because you're disgusted by them. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean,
do you find humans disgusting?
I mean, that's pretty suspicious. Like, are dead people human? Would you consider a dead human?
Consider it. I'm trying to explain to you what I'm attracted to, and you're not trying to understand, right? You don't care what I'm attracted to.
Well, you said you're attracted to humans, and I'm asking like, what's the cutoff? Because that's kind of a suspicious statement.
Yeah, so are a lot of things that you said. Very, very suspicious. Did Jesus help you? Did Jesus help you with your same-sex addiction? Who is helping you? You're cutting out a lot. Your connection is not good at the moment. Is mine as well? Is my connection freaking out like yours is? Are you receiving these signals? I haven't heard anything you said in about a minute. Your connection is not very good. Or maybe mine is. Are you having the same problem as me? I'm talking about the connection of the radio. This is some very low-level conversation. Are you going to engage in it?
As long as they're people, I don't care.
I'm trying to talk about the connection of this call. Do you even care about signal strength and anything like that?
I'm just asking you, like, what's the limitations?
And I'm literally asking you the same thing, right? I'm asking you what turns you off, what disgusts you in a person. So I asked you that first. Is that right?
Oh, what disgusts me is sort of like weird sexually ambiguous people like yourself.
I'm not sexually ambiguous. I like to have sex with sexy people. That's not ambiguous. So you, though, are disgusted by some things. No.
Bro,
I like to have sex with sexy people. That was very clear.
So you're coming on a path where I can only think one thing about you.
I think
nasty.
Yeah. I think that you have come here to think one thing, and you're trying as hard as you can to do such a thing. What is the value of a bad faith conversation? What can a person achieve by having a conversation of bad faith? What is the value of bad faith conversation? What if in all of my situations in my life, what problems might I have that the best solution is bad faith conversation? Do you have a list of those sort of problems?
That's probably got you written down.
Yeah. Just try to brainstorm some of those. Some situations you might find yourself in where a bad faith conversation is the best option. Can you just list some of those? Can you imagine?
I don't know. There's like no faith involved in this. Like,
I think you're misunderstanding what I mean by bad faith.
To think I'm talking to someone.
I think you're not understanding what I mean by bad faith. Bad faith conversation, right? You've not heard of this term? Should I define it more for you? What I mean by that, or I don't mean like faith, like your faith in your God or whatever. I mean like good and bad faith conversation. I think he's a dipshit, and I wish he'd leave me alone.
Yeah, me too. Look at this guy. Look at this dude.
You're cutting out a lot. Do you know why you're cutting out a lot? Is that a thing that we can make stop, or is that just going to continue?
There's like cool Adam right there.
Are you going to attempt to make the cutting out stop, or am I just going to have to like listen around that? I'm just asking because we're using hardware to communicate to each other. Yeah, do you agree? You should have some pride in our signal strength. Is that correct? You use the shortwave radio at all? You use a ham radio, CB radio back in '56?
Oh man, there's Tupac.
So what is disgusting about a person that would make you not want to have sex with them? You already said age, right? Too old for a 19-year-old. You're disgusted by age. What else are you disgusted by? I don't like having sex with people that aren't enjoying the sex. Are you able to enjoy sex with someone who's not enjoying it? Is that a thing that you need in a sexual partner? We are talking about that subject that you wanted me to clarify, right? Who I would and would not have sex with. You don't want to be sexually ambiguous, right?
No, you still are being, so...
I'm trying to clarify. I asked you a clarifying question, and you just seem to ignore it. Did you hear it? Did my signal break?
It's kind of weird.
Is it? What was the question again? Let me think how weird it was.
I mean, it's just kind of weird, bro. That's all I'm saying.
The question was weird?
You're trying to, like, dance around it.
Dance around what? The question that I asked you? Did you hear it?
Yeah.
You want me to re-ask it?
I heard it. It's just like you didn't answer it adequately.
No. I asked you the question. What do you mean I didn't answer it adequately? What are you talking about?
No, I answered it, bro. Like, what?
You answered it?
Yeah.
Maybe I missed it. Which question did you answer?
You're asking a question?
Yep. Are you answering the question?
Like, I just gave you a question to answer and you didn't do it.
No, I did. You asked me a question and I answered it. Yes, I did.
Sure.
No, I'm not sure. Are you?
I'm not really.
What's your evidence then that the thing that you're saying is right? What evidence are you leaning on there?
I don't know.
So maybe you should abandon that idea then if you can't even remember the evidence that you used to come to that conclusion.
What idea are you talking about?
I'm talking about that conclusion that you made. Remember, are you even following this conversation?
What conclusion is that?
Look, dude, if you're not going to be able to keep up with this conversation, I don't know why you're even here, bro. Why don't you go chill somewhere else?
Conversation. You're just like saying a bunch of like random shit.
Oh, that's what I'm doing? Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I'll stop because that would be very rude of me to do, wouldn't it? And childish and in bad faith, right?
You're like, I'm not like holding your hand here. You're like free to go, pal.
Yes, that's correct. But I do like talking to stupid people because I want to know how to talk to people like you, really stupid and aggressively unwilling to be educated. Do you think that education can be done against a person's will? Do you think it's ethical to educate people against their will? Do you think it's ethical to educate people against their will? Do you think that's an ethical thing to do?
What's up?
Do you think it's ethical to educate people against their will?
I don't care about like trans education in the world. No, not really.
What do you care about? What does your big boy brain care about in this world right now?
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
What does it you care about? You don't care about the things that I'm saying. What do you care about?
Oh, Yugoslavia.
You care about Yugoslavia? Is that right?
Yeah.
Then why are you calling it Yugoslavia? Why on earth would you call it that if you care at all about it and its people?
Because it's Yugoslavia, bro.
Is it Yugoslavia? Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh man, okay. Which part of Yugoslavia do you love the most?
Central.
Yeah, Central Yugoslavia? Like what's the best city?
Sarajevo or Minskina.
I don't think that Sarajevo is in Yugoslavia.
Yeah, it is.
Is that right? If I go to Sarajevo and I ask the people what country is this, what are they going to say?
Yugoslavia.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I guess I've never really been there. When were you there?
Back in 2014.
Nice. And you met a lot of people you care about there? In Sarajevo? Can you recall any of their names?
I gotta tell you the name of my fucking relatives. Fucking weirdo.
No, I didn't ask for the names. I asked you if you can recall any. Can you recall any of their names?
Of the people I met?
Yeah, the people you fell in love with that you care about in Sarajevo, Yugoslavia.
I didn't say Sarajevo. I said I've been there.
I thought you said that your favorite city in all this place is Sarajevo. Is that? Did I mishear you?
So you asked me what's a good city in the region, I said, and I told you.
You said you cared about Yugoslavia. I meant to ask you what's the city that you care about the most. So maybe I'll just ask you that and we'll move from there.
It's a brief little miscommunication.
I agree. I'm glad that we caught it and we cleaned it up. Isn't it nice to have a good faith conversation, to use the tools of communication to talk to each other?
Not really, no. It's just kind of like...
you didn't feel good when we had that connection there? You didn't feel good inside?
I think you did. I wouldn't say so, pal.
I would.
You got some kind of mixed signals.
No, I'm getting real clear signals from you that you're willing to work through our differences so that we can communicate with each other. It's exciting.
I don't know.
If you saw a person and he was a man and your dick tickled a little bit, what would you do about it? Felt really good and tingly in your dick when you were looking at a man.
Sounds like I got like an issue.
Is that right? Or would you just be sexually attracted to a man? Is that a medical issue or is that just sexual attraction to a man? If you're looking at a man and he's got his shirt off and you get a little tingly in the dick.
My dick like itch. Like, yeah, I go check a doctor to see if I got something.
So, if you and your big dick best friend are fucking this sexy lady and you're having this really great... Have you had a threesome yet? You're 19 years old? You had your first threesome yet? You do MFM stuff? You know what I'm talking about? You had that yet? It's really good. You should try it.
What?
If you're doing that, you know what I'm talking about? You like threesomes? You like sex, do you? You're a very virile young man, right? Oh, you're not? I thought that's how you were trying to present yourself. My apologies. I misunderstood some of this bravado as you came in and your...
I'll buy $4.
Do you want to talk about sex and gender and all that stuff, or is that just...
Like, I don't care.
You do care. You came. No, dude. You care. You came in here, and while you were trying to derail the conversation, it's one of the tactics you used. So now I'm trying to engage with you in good faith about that subject, and so I'm asking
you got like this whole
specifically.
fan fiction right now in your head that I literally have to find out
Cool.
what the fuck you're talking
Awesome.
about, bro.
Well, clean up my fan fiction. I've laid it bare. Please do tell me how to think about it instead. Please do gaslight me into believing whatever it is I'm supposed to believe, so that I'm allowed to continue to engage with you. Do you know what gaslighting is?
Yeah.
Were you doing it?
I'm gaslighting you? How am I gaslighting you?
No, the question was, were you?
Was I gaslighting you?
Were you gaslighting me previously in this conversation? Is it? Or is it subjective? Maybe we don't agree what gaslighting is. So go ahead and explain to me what your girlfriend has told you gaslighting is.
Nah, because I'm not gaslighting you, bro. Like, I'm not gonna
It's
gaslight you.
hard to know
No.
if you don't have a definition of it. It's hard to know if it's happening if your definition of it is flawed. So it's subjective. Gaslighting is subjective, though. We do have that. So in your opinion, your very considered opinion, you studied this quite a bit. Gaslighting is subjective.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me more about gaslighting. I do want to learn more about gaslighting from you.
I don't know. Go watch some like Jordan Peterson shit if that like tickles your pickle.
No, you tickle my pickle, so I'm going to stay here with you. Are you into Jordan Peterson? How much of his stuff have you read?
Nah, I don't like him.
How much have you read?
I read his 12 Rules to Life.
You read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Alright. I mean, that's a lot. Like, you finished it?
Yeah.
Alright. How do you feel about his behavior after writing that, seeing his room is not clean at all? How do you feel about a very messy Jordan Peterson?
I don't know. Like, yeah, I'd say it's a bad look, but I'd say he was also like a drug addict, and his like wife was dying. So it's understandable.
Is it? I thought he had the 12 rules to living before any of that happened. How is it understandable that he was disheveled? I thought he had the rules such that won't happen. He wrote the book first, right? And then all that shit happened.
Drug addiction's crazy.
What?
I don't know. Drug addiction's pretty crazy.
Right, but if you follow the 12 rules, chances are you'll get a drug addiction. Do you agree? Because he wrote them and he was following them and then he got addicted to drugs. Is that correct? Am I understanding the timeline? What drug would you be addicted to if you had to be addicted to a drug? What's your drug of choice?
I don't know.
I think you know, dude. Is it dopamine? I think you know. Dude, look, if you don't want to have this conversation, why? Why don't you like conversations? Why are you hanging around in a Discord and hating conversations? Because it's super edgy and funny? It's not funny, bro. It hasn't been funny in 20 years.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about your accusation against me that the shit I'm doing is not funny is because you know that the shit you're not doing is funny. The accusations you give people are the shit you believe, dipshit. You walking here calling me unfunny like I'm trying to be funny? You're the one trying to be funny, dude, and it's really sad and pathetic. What you're doing is you got no one to talk to, and you're in my channel because you'd rather get talked to by me because you're so lonely than engage with these other people. And then when real conversations happen, you accept it and you drop your fucking bullshit bit. This fucking really pathetic, dude. You're like, I'm trying to help you out, and for no thanks, and you're just gonna call me disgusting and all these things. You're gonna say I'm not funny. Not once have I tried to be funny. You don't get funny from me, dude. What, am I going to give you funny? What are you going to give me back, bro?
I mean,
You're not.
I know. I said
That's probably
specifically.
the funniest thing you've done, but
You don't get funny
it's
from me.
pretty
You,
bigness.
I didn't promise you funny or anything, right? And you walk in here and you say the thing I'm doing is not funny and it hasn't been relevant in 12 years, eh?
Wow.
Because that's what I want. I want to be relevant and funny. Is that right? That's what I want.
I don't know what you want. I'm not like, I don't know your hopes and dreams. I'm not your psychiatrist.
Right, but you came in here for psychiatry. That's why you're here, just because I'm yours. Is that correct? Am I understanding the relationship you need from me? Am I giving you what you want? Are you having what you want from me? Is that why you're here? Because you are receiving what you want? Or are you getting something other than you want? Because I think if that's what you were getting, you would leave. Do you agree? So, you're going to get what you want from me and not thank me?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, pal.
I think you do.
No, I really don't. I was listening to like old
Well,
Dangerfield clips.
I've been recording it, and you can go back and listen to it if you were not capable of understanding the thing that I was saying as I was saying. Or we can just ignore it because you don't care.
That's cool.
Right? Because ignorance is your choice, is that right?
Ignorance is my choice. I'm just watching like Rodney Dangerfield clips.
You can keep his name out of your mouth, alright, kid? Go. You don't know shit about Rodney Dangerfield, and you can shut the fuck up.
You don't know shit about Rodney Dangerfield. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about, why don't you just use your own culture instead of stealing other people's, alright? You don't know, Rodney Dangerfield is not for you. Fuck off.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you're gonna be like watching Bob Hope next?
Bob Hope fucking sucks.
Bob Hope's dead, so, you know, he doesn't suck.
Yeah, you can suck and still be dead. Like what? What about Hitler?
Hitler sucked. Hitler does not suck. Do you not understand past tense? Did they not teach that to you in your army brat education?
Not in American school.
Yeah, you don't. Your tense is not for you. You're just over it.
Yeah. Why not talk like a slave?
I do not follow.
You don't follow?
No. Would you?
Good thing, I'm not a leader.
Would you? Would you like to make yourself clear, or is that?
See, I made you laugh. So.
Yes, that's true.
Mister, you don't know funny. Get the fuck out of here.
No. What I said was, you want to be funny, and you came in here and you accused me of wanting to be funny. That's what I said.
I don't follow.
Well, yeah, maybe because you're dumb. Would you, if you could choose to not be dumb, would you? If stupidity is happiness, but you could choose to not be dumb, would you? Would you give up happiness for truth?
It's cool.
So you would take truth over happiness, or happiness over truth, rather?
Somewhat.
Yeah, cool. What do you think that a person who chooses happiness over truth is going to eventually achieve?
Nothing.
I mean, they'll be happy. Hello, Andres. May your health be optimal, Mitch. Thank you very much. What time is it? How long have we been doing this? I notice you're still here. Is there a question you would like to ask a Pastafarian?
I'm good.
What do you mean by good?
But
So you come to Discord to sleep, is that correct? That's your big move, huh?
yeah, pretty much.
Cool. And what do you think of the people? Are you old enough to recall Occupy Wall Street? What do you think of that way of communicating?
Occupy Wall Street.
Are you old enough to recall?
The Colbert Show.
Do you recall when Occupy Wall Street was a thing? Do you recall the Tea Party? Do you remember when that happened?
Yeah, I don't know why the hell you know about any of that. Aren't you British?
No, I'm not British.
Well, where the hell you're from, I think you should be familiar with the Tea Party.
I am familiar with the Tea Party, though nobody identifies as Tea Party anymore. Is that correct?
Not really.
And way back then, when they were, there's this other group called Occupy Wall Street. What do you think about their methods?
I don't know. I was like, fucking like 8.
What city were you in 2 summers ago? What city were you in the summer of 2020? What city were you living in? Where were you living in the summer of 2020? Well, remember how you can't understand my example because you were too young for it? Now I'm trying to find an example that you were not too young for, so I'm asking you where you were in the summer of 2020 so I can understand your context at that time, so I can choose that example. Does that make sense to you? Are you willing now to surrender that information to me? Are you not afraid now to tell me? What city? What did you say? In your car? Is that what you said?
Where was I? September of 2020? I don't know.
The summer of 2020 is not that long ago, right? It's less than 1,000 days ago. What city did you generally?
A lot of places.
Right. Okay. Let's go back again to the value of bad faith conversation. What do you think?
Bad faith conversation.
Yeah. When is it the best
conversation of bad faith?
I'm saying that you vacillate between good faith and bad faith conversations. Yes. Is that not clear?
I vacillate.
Uh-huh.
Are we making up words now?
No. There's a word called vacillate, and I just used it. Just because you're ignorant of it doesn't mean I didn't intend to communicate something.
I mean, vassals are like puppet states. You know that, right? It's like a very like the Napoleonic term.
Sure, yes. There are the vassal is a word. That's correct. I know that word as well. Yes, I know both of those words, and I know the difference between them. And I honestly did not expect you not to. I'm not trying to use words that you don't know, and so if I'm making you feel like you're a dummy, I don't intend to. But when you're a dummy, you're gonna feel it sometimes. Do you not want me to use the word vacillate because it makes you feel bad?
No, I don't really care. So you
did care when I said it. You like derailed the conversation with it. You did care. So
I derailed the conversation. What'd I do?
You used syllables that were reserved for the conversation to get off the topic and instead talk about the word vacillate. Did you not notice when you did that?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about the conversation that you're attempting to have here.
Yeah, it's been kind of going.
Say again?
So it's just been kind of going.
The conversation that we're having?
Yeah.
Yeah, because people
been much of a conversation.
No, it's been voluminous. Some of it in good faith and some of it in bad faith. Do you agree?
Nah.
So in life, I'm going to have a lot of not like problems, but like chores, I suppose. What chore ought I use bad faith conversation for? Like, for example, I'm going out to purchase things, and the person who's trying to sell me those things is going to like talk to me about shit. And I don't want to do that. And so I can have a bad faith conversation with him to lessen the number of syllables which are wasted on this person. I just want the item, and this person's going to hold me hostage to a bullshit conversation that I don't want to participate in. And yet, if I were to just be rude and say, please don't talk to me, I think the situation would be worse than if I were to have a bad faith conversation with him and try to minimize the syllables. Do you agree that I have identified a situation in which a bad faith conversation would be the best answer? Do you agree that I answer the question that I asked you?
I don't know, bro. I don't know what kind of energy drinks they got in England, but you seem pretty piped up.
Excellent, excellent. It's definitely I'm piped up, right? It's not that you're languorous. It's not that you're, falling asleep.
Oh no, I'm awake.
Right, that's right. You are normal, and I am different from you. So however direction I'm different from you, I'm too far that direction, right?
I don't know. I'm not one for riddles.
Okay. Then let's speak plainly, shall we?
I don't know.
I thought you were not one for riddles. Are you one for lies? Do you when are lies the best tool
All the time.
to use? Is that right? All the time? You get you get what you want when you employ lies? Is that correct? You find that in reality?
It's not when I get what I want. I guess in a roundabout way, yeah, sure.
No, but that's how I'm framing the idea that sort of there's a chore or a desire that you have in life, and then lie would be the best tool to use to get that. So I kind of was rephrasing what I was saying. You get what you want. For like example, in my grocery store example, the thing that I want is the least amount of interaction with this fucking stranger who is probably one of the dumbest people I've ever met in my life. I just want that interaction to be minimized. And so the tool that I will use to get what I want is a bad faith conversation. And so now I'm asking you the question, when is a lie the tool that a person would be wise in using to get what they want?
Hello?
Oh, sorry, did I cut out? Oh, hello there. Oh, there was another person here. I didn't see that switch. I don't know why my Discord isn't like bling-blonging people.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
It could be because I'm streaming, actually, now that I think about it. Would you like to ask a Pastafarian a question?
Not really, actually.
Well, it's weird that you would come into this channel here where the only other person is a person whose name is Ask a Pastafarian, right? That's an odd behavior on your part, do you agree?
Yeah, my bad.
Late. See ya. Oh, stretching. Pardon me, everybody. I think... How many hours? This is 2 hours. I'm gonna go. I think on Thursday I'm gonna have a guest. So, not like a guest I'm gonna yell at either. like a good guest that we're gonna ask some questions of. We're gonna interview. I don't know why I have to make any commitment to or for against that question.
You can totally change your mind that day. I'm
Absolutely.
just curious how you feel now.
I suppose we'll ask the interviewee what's most comfortable. I suppose we'll see what's comfortable. So do check in for that. We're going to be talking about, we're going to try to keep it on topic with some cult questions about cults and shit, high control groups and stuff. We might go over some of the bite model and just talk about each of those pieces there. But again, I don't think scripting these things is the very best way of achieving what we want here. Because I think the point is. It's not the coming up with the arguments that will help you in a situation like with John Shark. It is coming up with a way of positioning your mind such that you're in the conversation for the effective reasons. I'm trying to capture some of this Discord sort of conversation, but just really the bad part of it. Because I like the conversations we're having, but there are other people having nice conversations, and they're good at it. And so I really do want to demonstrate that what we can do with a person like John Shuck is with we need to stop thinking about what we're going to say to them right now, and we need to start thinking about, here's one of the guys that I'm in a conversation with. We need to stop trying to get to the end of the conversation. We need to just have the conversation, right? And so, you know, I don't want to write my thesis right now or anything like that, but what I'm trying to demonstrate is that what the work involved looks like. You know, just that these things develop over time, and that work brings results. Like a lot of these conversations we have, especially with strangers, just sort of are like, who knows what the long-term effects of that are, or whatever. But I'm demonstrating that, you know, some of these people, we do make ground with them. We do sort of change the way they think about stuff, the way they talk about the ideas after they've had their conversations with us. You know, like what we can do as far as like turning bad faith conversations against the people who would do it. Like, and so, you know, you only do that through being in the bad faith conversations. So, you know, join me as we have bad faith conversations, but that's not what we're going to be doing in the other day when we talk about cult shit. I don't know. I was just walking, I suppose. Got there from some point. So, yeah. I'll see you, like, in a minute. I don't really have plans for, like, anything other than that Thursday thing, so I think today's Tuesday? I think I'm going to be off tomorrow doing some, like, going to the laundromat and shit. But, you know, back by Thursday. See you